morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, a term that we have traditionally kept along for a couple of years because Tuesdays tend to have dip days. Now, yesterday, Friday, very, very clear, very, very obvious. We were extremely short term bullish, paid off in dividends. Yesterday was a little bit of gluttony, and actually, yesterday reminds me of a little story I'll share with you real quick. It's going back almost 20 years ago. I'm living in Barcelona, and I'm stoned out of my head. I've been smoking weed all day long, and buddy of mine and I, we go into a Chinese buffet, €5. After a couple of hours, there's no more sweet and sour chicken, and we're like, we're going outside having a couple tokes. Like, where's the chicken? They say, no more chicken. Get out. We got kicked out. And yesterday was pretty much a reminder to me of that because showing you here on my SPX spread calculator for the safe edges, we have never, ever gone up to that safe edge on the upside 2 days in a row, let alone we almost broke it. Actually, we did break it. We went 40.39, and this was for 40.35. Never. I mean, yeah, we've come down here on the downside, which the downside is really easy. This was back here in August after we came off that big August top at 43.25. But we have never gone to that upside. And again, for the new guys, and you'll see the chart in the email. I shared this a week ago. Very bullish with the inverted head and shoulders, looking for my view, which I've shared my view as to where we're going for. Again, same thing, going back to middle of last week when we had that little bit of a dip. Looking at my big view, and the energy is what I'm most focused on. In order for this to actually take place, I'm looking for the energy levels, and bring you over here onto the ES. And again, we're almost in the same boat as we were yesterday. We were dead flat all night long, all the way until 7 a.m. And then we were just getting a little bit alive, right back up to the session highs as we came in. And then the opening bell kicked in and they go, bend over, we're coming in. And man, they shoved that thing right up our throats. That dip that took place yesterday, how quickly you were able to get that 40-point dip, just displays to you that it's not as bullish as it appears. This has a lot more to do with what's going on behind the scenes with prior contracts that were sold months ago that are all being squeezed, a lot of margin calls on guys that were short because of the way the index run up. But bring you here onto the hourly, and looking at the hourly again, extreme overbought yesterday, and look how quickly you get to oversold by just going nowhere. We're already down here to 25 on that. This is the futures. Futures are not the indexes. Indexes are much different. Coming here onto the 4 hour, and again, how we got to the extreme overbought levels and just starting to fade off. Now, I will bring you on to the index, show you the SPX, and again here, that's your SPX 4 hour chart, how you were getting up there into that profit zone. Not as great as you got back here, back up in October, but you were getting pretty frothy over here. And bring it on here onto the hourly chart, and you can see this was as overbought as we were when we went up to that Powell speech, 41.096. As overbought up here. And again, that quick little dip that we got yesterday, how quickly it's able to pull these things off. What I'm looking for is that 4 hour. I want the 4 hour down here in the 20 zone. That's what I want for me, because I want to be able to deploy a large number of resources for that move that I'm anticipating, like I've shared, which In my opinion, as we're here inside of this triangle now, the red, let me see if I can get a cleaner view on one of my other ones, but nah, not really. But we're inside that triangle of that 2022 resistance line and this new support that we have. This is a much wider view of a support coming off of the lows from back on COVID. So I don't think that we'll be playing inside of this for now. Where I'm looking at for here is that we'll be in this triangle zone and then make our move to the upside, which I still think will be coming out of there on February when we got the FOMC meeting and when we get the CPI report. Again, here over onto the QQQ 260, 290. Fantastic. 286 was the top zone I had. That's why we had the 285 calls. Where I'm looking for in that buy zone is this 277, 275 area. If we can get some tech guys reporting this week, next week, bring us back down into that area, I'll again be looking for that move that starts to take place into March, into April. Push up here to that 295, 296. Go receive that 300. Again, here on the SPY made contact with its falling resistance line. SPY's a little bit different because after you have the dividend every quarter, the price reduces, but the pivots are always the pivots. So it took SPY a little bit longer to hit that than it did with the SPX. But yeah, same thing. Looking for a dip somewhere back below this 200 day, above the 50 day. A drop below the 50 day, let me tell you, and in here below 390 would force a lot of longs out. It would bring a lot of shorts into it, and then we go into the FOMC, the FOMC and the February CPI report. So I'm looking for somewhere down here around 395, 394. I'd like to see it today. I'd like to see it no later than tomorrow. But again, dip participation onto the short side, not as aggressive as many people would want to be, but just something to have something out there so that we can go and say, hey, I'm in the trade. Microsoft, what's today? Nothing fantastic. I still like 233 for a support area. This will dictate what we're due to see next week. And Tesla on tomorrow. Same thing with Tesla. Tesla, amazing move off that 101. Tesla's its own animal. It's in its own little world. It's its own animal. I still liked 165. No way, shape, or form am I going to be involved in this for earnings. Absolutely not. On Thursday, can look at it with fresh eyes and have another 90 days, 85 days that we can trade it before it has to report earnings again. So yeah, I like Tesla. I just don't trust it. So yeah, again, so with that confidence in mind, as I said, for me, I'm exposed. I'm exposed today. I'm exposed into the end of the week. Put my money where my mouth is. Got it pretty well spread out. I am not looking for us to have a crash. All I'm looking for is that we get a dip, and on that dip, we're able to make a little bit of money. And then on that dip, we can start to adjust as to see where are we in the dip as far as the wave count and when can we start getting long again like we did last week. And can I please have back the 285 calls that I had for the SPX and the SPY 410 calls that I had in February? Or sorry, the 285 calls I had on QQQ. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic morning. We'll see what we get today. It could be a blasé day. It could be a thriller of a day. Not looking at this with any kind of a bias, but we're definitely going to be looking for Microsoft after the close.